raise the temperatures with a fireside chat. And this chat put the focus on Vision to Victory, the filmmaker's journey. Our guest at the fireside is Vijay Krishna Acharya, popularly known as Victor. And engaging with Victor in this fireside chat is our moderator, Truls Contney.
First of all, thank you so much, Victor, for taking the time to come here. And thank you so much to Harsha and his team for having us here. So,
yeah, it's great to chat with you. Hello to everybody. And it's always nice to be here for Anandya and Harshad. They say nice things about me and I'll go anywhere for that.
So, Victor, let's start with the beginning. What made you decide to go into filmmaking? Can you share with us your journey into that?
So, it says that there's obviously something which makes sure that you're not ready for mainstream life. There's obviously some deep psychological problems which kind of push us towards films. It's because you wake up very early, you try and get to a set, you have 150 people around you, and you're all trying to create some images which were once written on paper, and hopefully an audience will come and see it and be moved. So it feels like a foolish but a very worthwhile task. I'm a literature student. I used to do theatre in college, and it felt sort of natural, but I think some happy accidents, and that's how I ended up here.
Yes. When you create a project, what inspired you?
I think the love of movies, to be honest. I think at least I come from a generation when entertainment and films were not as accessible as they are today. And there is a sort of a chemical reaction that we have with a story which is told in the theatre. So I grew up my name is Vijay Krishna Acharya. I grew up in the 80s when Mr. Bachchan was the leading man, and he was called Vijay in most of his films. So I thought I was part of some exclusive club that belonged only to people who were called Vijay. And there is some pull that we have to these stories, and hopefully we go in for entertainment and we come back moved. And I think that's what keeps you going, the love for films.
Yeah. Do you have any special message you want to tell your audience through your films?
I think every film has, there is some message that is ingrained. Most of the films that I have worked on are in the mainstream entertainment space. My last film was a film which had some sort of a small message embedded, The Great Indian Family. I shot it during the lockdown here. And I think films and messages are probably, at least for me, not necessarily, I don't go to see a film to receive a message. But yes, if there is something which is told to me dramatically, effectively, I'm very happy to hear it. Something which elevates a story from sheer or mere entertainment to something which is deeper is always welcome. But as Billy Wilder said, just entertain first and we'll get to the rest later.
Yeah, you are known as both a scriptwriter and a director. You wrote the two first Doom movies, and then what made you decide to direct the third one? How was that turn? And did you meet some special challenges in that?
I mean, the writing of Doom was a lot of fun. I was doing television before that, and it was great, but Dhoom ended up, I think, opening a new chapter for me and for whatever was popular cinema at the time. It felt like a logical movement. I had come to this city to be a filmmaker. I think writing is something that discovered me. So I'm grateful for it. But it felt good to do to direct something which I'd written. That was pretty much it. I think the challenge was to see whether we could buck the trend and do something within the branding of a Dhoom, which doesn't necessarily belong to that world. And that has been the idea behind each of these films. My producer, Mr. Chopra, his basic dictum was that we should be making a film which we want to make and which we would have made anyway without the badge of Dhoom. And if that is worth it, then we should make a Dhoom. So that's how that came about.
Have the big success of Dhoom changed your attitude towards film? Has it influenced you in a way?
No, see, each time something works, I think the people behind the camera, and I see there are a bunch of them here, we are the ones who are most surprised. Because it feels like an exam each time, and you are never sure whether you'll pass. I think where I'm at today, I feel that success or failure of a creative endeavor really is not something that I can worry too much about. It is creatively, am I managing to push any boundaries, or am I managing to do something newer with each one of them? And it doesn't need to be radically a shift. Is it just new for me? And is it a new challenge? And I think if we can do that, then that's pretty much where I'm at.
You have done projects both of film and television. Do you see a big difference between that? How do you approach that? Because television format and TV series is something else, not a big booth.
I think television allows for a development and play of characters a lot better. It probably can tell stories which are very large in emotion, but it doesn't need the wherewithal of big locations. But in film, the visual does count. It starts mattering how the drama of the human condition is played out and against what. So I think that's more a format thing, but both are equally lovely and equally challenging.
But do you prefer film or movie, or is it the same for you?
I think it brings a newer challenge with each. I'd love to do a very sort of intimate, character-driven thing, but I know that dragging people to the theater right now for that might be a bit hard.
What is your driving force? Why do you want to make movies or television series?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I think the joy of being able to tell a story, and there is a visceral. It's a visceral experience, and both, I think, for me as a filmmaker and for me as an audience, I like the excitement of the house lights going dim in a theater. I think that for me is probably the biggest excitement. Is there a world out there which I've not seen? Other people, these characters, have they done something which I can't in my life? And how they overcome those obstacles. I think that's my relationship with the films. I think it's ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances, and that's really sort of my into a film. And I'll see. I like watching films. I see. I think the kind of things that Tarkovsky did at his time, I think it should be mandatory for everybody to see the greats, and not just see some films which have come out 5 years back. And that was me as a filmmaker responding to what I thought was happening to the world around me here. Otherwise, I think all the other films that I've done, Tashan was my first film, and I think it's the most anarchic, and I love that about it. I think I'd happily go into that space again. So personally and completely honestly, I think Tashan is very much my voice, and Great Indian Family is very much my heart.
That's a good pitch.
And Dhoom is also the reason why I'm managing to do all of that, because it's foolish for us to assume that there is something which is what we are not part of, which is an industry, which is economics. So every film I write, I think I write with the same passion, and the reason to make the film is not commerce. Commerce can only be a byproduct, but the commerce helps us make the next film. Because I don't come from landed gentry film families. I'm completely on my own. So I think our system allows a little nudge for you with the commercial success, and that, however hard that pill might be, but you do swallow it.
What do you like best, writing or directing?
See, there's I think the thing that I'll always be grateful for is writing, because I feel that with nothing more than a pen and a piece of paper, you can create something which didn't exist. But directing a film after I've written it, I'm actually hoping that one day I'll find a script which I really want to direct, and I won't have to write it. You then write with the camera, and that's pretty much it. So there's I think it's a slightly different process. When I'm directing, I think I like the energy. When I'm writing, it's both beautiful and it's a period of self-loathing. So I don't know. It's one is so sort of closed in, and the other's pretty much like on steroids. So,
can you share with us your most memorable moment so far in your career?
I mean, I don't know whether it's directly related, but see, films gave me a little bit of an ability to travel, which is what I wanted to do. And there is something, there's something there, something about meeting new people or seeing a different part of the world that I think it changes something within you. The most memorable, I don't know. I think I will probably be able to answer this after a few more years. I think I need to make a few more films, but each film comes with a lot of memories. I think seeing the final print in a theater, I think that's memorable each time, and I think my heart definitely skips a beat.
Well, since we're here, we also have to talk a little bit about locations. And you have been shooting a lot abroad, as I understand. Do you have any countries on your bucket list?
Oh, I have 218 countries on my bucket list. I want to see how many of them are here. I think the Nordic countries and Latin America. I think these are two spaces which cinematically I feel haven't been explored much. And I think the holy grail of like natural beauty would be Africa. I'd definitely like to shoot something there, but you have to have a story which goes there.
Do you see the location as the important part of the story, or when you're writing, do you have some specific locations in mind, or will you first write and then go out and search for locations?
A lot of times during the writing process, there is an image of some sort. It helps to make it more granular and say, okay, this can only happen here. For example, Dhoom 3 was this story which was a little dark. It was about a family, about two brothers who are dealing with loss in their own ways. But there is an ambition to them which needs to be visually seen in the landscape of the film. And in Chicago, I thought with the skyscrapers, and it felt like this is man's ambition to conquer something. Everything is skyward. So it kind of, in a very sort of lateral way, fit what I thought was the world of the film. It kind of brought a little grit to it. So I think locations or the visual matters a lot. The same story, if it was sunny California or Australia, would just feel different. So I think it becomes crucial. But by and large, I'd like to discover a space once the writing is done.
Are you working on any specific project now that you already know that you have to go abroad and search for locations? And what kind of locations would that be?
I mean, at any given point of time, there are a couple of ideas in one's head. I'm writing something. I'm writing two things actually, both quite different from each other. And yes, hopefully one of them or both of them will find some places outside of India to shoot at. Not for any other reasons, because there is the characters tend to inhabit a space like that. So once I'm done with the writing, I think I'll start picking who the people are who are leaving their cards behind.
Talking about that, how do you want film commissioners approach you? Or do you want to go out and contact them, or you people go out and contact them? Or do you want film commissions to come and promote their locations to you?
I think it's always easier to see a dossier or to see locations that film commissions will have. It helps production, because at the end of the day, today everybody offers a bunch of rebates. Some of them are smart, some of them are not. But most importantly, ease of use, the ability for a crew which will be working, an Indian crew will be in a foreign country,
will be in 10 years.
I mean, that's the most, that's my pet peeve, honestly. And maybe this is not the platform for it, but I think the one place where we are lacking severely is the fact that we don't have enough screens. We had single screens. In India, film viewing was a very different experience. It was not something which was curated for 150 or 200 people. The theaters were large, 500, 750. Bombay had a theater called Minerva, which was 1,500 people. And I was lucky enough to see one show of Sholay there. And Sholay is it's a legendary, I don't know, it's probably It's Citizen Kane, Sacrifice, all the Mission Impossibles, and everything else for a Desi, for an Indian. I think that's the merit that Sholay has. So I think we have let an audience down, both in terms of the theatrical spaces and also what has been our offering to them. India is not we think it's one, but it's not some homogeneous mass of people, So there are many different audiences, and a film should all be able to see the film that they like. It cannot be only one kind of film will work and only, So I think that's what the industry has to figure out. I think there is a little bit of a creative crisis that we are in. There's absolutely no. I feel that we are in. But theaters actually are the base of it. And in India, film viewing was not necessarily always a premium experience. There was a working class, and the working class and the middle class actually kept the turnstiles running. It's now we buy a ticket for $500 and we buy popcorn for $500. That's bizarre.
Yeah, I've heard that it's so expensive to go to a cinema now for the audience. So I'm afraid of where will it end?
Yeah, we're all going to end up watching. We'll be watching Instagram reels. I'm telling you, we'll be watching Instagram reels for 3 hours if we don't sort of get this together.
I saw on IMDb that Doom 4 are in pre-production.
I've seen that on many newspapers myself.
And you can't tell us anything more about that?
I wish I could, but there's right now everybody else seems to know a lot more than me.
Yes. Okay, I have a lot of more questions to you. I can take it on the back room.
Yeah.
Because I think we are running out of time now. So if we don't have any last questions from the audience, there.
Hi. You've also done a lot of, Doom 2, 3, 1, 4, everybody knows about, but you've also done a lot of independent spoofs before. For example, Channel Must, if I'm not wrong, I'm forgetting the name. So what are your sort of inspirations or favorite parodies, let's say, from the West? Kabir from the Free Press Journal.
Hi, Kabir. Channel Must. I'm so glad that I heard Channel Must after such a long time. So that's one of the first. That's one of my first few writing jobs. And at that point of time, I was deeply sort of into spoof. I'm a Monty Python fan. And there was an opportunity, and that was the promise of satellite television in India. That you could go ahead and you did something, and now it seems we made an episode on India got economic liberalization. So we made an episode, and now when I think of it, we could have been in jail or something, because we had Manmohan Singh as a parody figure taking us through that episode, and I don't think you can do that now.
I think we always count our blessings in hindsight.
So I think the beauty purely in writing is that I don't think one should know too much. I think we have to keep sort of unschooling ourselves, because this world is, you do one thing and if it works, then everybody tells you, oh, this is what works and this is what you must do. But that's death. If you do, can you just go and do the same shit every day? No, you can't. You have to do something new. And I think that's the biggie. That's the big question that we need to ask ourselves. What are the films that we are going to make, and who are we making it for?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would we ever consider going to Hollywood to do any movie there?
I'd go tomorrow if they'd have me. Tomorrow. If there's any good agent here, I've got the visa for 10 years. No, I'm kidding. There's after Dhoom 3, curiously enough, I did get offers for representation, and it was very, very sweet. But again, they were all talking about action films, and I think in India at that point of time, I felt I was still on ground which was familiar. But yes, I think the kind of films that we are making now, a bunch of them can really hold a mirror up to Hollywood. I mean, I shot in Chicago. Before me, Dark Knight had been shot there, and Transformers had been shot there. And I realized that we as Indians can actually manage to do things at probably 1/10 the cost of Hollywood, and still make it look good.
Okay, Victor. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for Victor and Truls for taking us through a very must fireside chat.